What is my inner voice? Welcome to the School of Self-Worth Live. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sam Osborne, the Self-Worth Guy. Today is episode number 162, and we are going to be talking about how you can find and listen to your inner voice. We're also going to be talking about what the inner voice truly is or what it could be. And before I go any further, I want to let you know about my new book that is coming out in about a week or two. It's called How to Beat Imposter Syndrome and Be Confident. And I also want to invite you to check out my free starter kit. It's called Crush Imposter Syndrome Forever, the starter kit for bulletproof confidence. And you can get it at the link on your screen right now, samosborne.com/starter kit. So let's talk about your inner voice. Let's talk about what it is, how you can listen to it, how you can hear it, and how listening to it is going to benefit you. Let me start with a little story. So I just went to the Cairo. I haven't been to the Cairo in about a decade. So serves me right. But I feel great. Had my neck cracked. And then I got an Uber. No, it was actually Lyft. Got a lift all the way back from Sherman Oaks to where I live in Toluca Lake, Burbank, California. And I was graced with Peter Green, a guy, the Uber driver, sorry, the Lyft driver. And we got talking about the inner voice. And he was telling me a great story about how he listened to his intuition. And we got talking about the inner voice. And when you're in LA traffic, you got a bit of time to talk to each other. It's kind of good, right? And when you feel a connection with people, like you're on the same level and it's nice at that nice pace. There's no rush and it feels like time kind of extends or stops. Well, I think that's a great first step to listening or hearing your inner voice. Now, I'm talking about the inner voice because it connects directly with self-worth. And if you want self-worth, I highly recommend that you get on board the inner voice train. You really take some time out to listen to the inner voice within you. Now, I've said this before on this channel, on these videos. I'm not a religious guy. I don't believe in God, but I do believe that a human being has got parts of it, like a consciousness or a soul or a spirit, something. And of course, there's plenty of spiritual traditions in the world that it can't be for nothing, right? They've got to be saying something. And a lot of them talk about meditation and prayer and finding the guidance from within in your heart. And I mean, people don't need to really overthink it. It's like if you listen to your heart, it knows a hell of a lot, right? So Peter and I were talking, and it just reminded me I should make a video about the inner voice and just tell that story. I think it's important for self-worth. So if you want self-worth in your life, I can highly recommend that you take a minute out of your day, not even that, 30 seconds, where you try to listen for your inner voice. Now, when you do, it's probably gonna sound like you're kidding yourself, like it's your own voice in the back of your head, your own conscience. But if you listen really carefully and you get really slow, like you still your body, you're going to be able to hear a different kind of voice, a voice that just, when you hear it, you're like, that is my inner voice. It's like, it's got certainty. It's got a kind of power. It's got love behind it. And it certainly wants to help you to live a meaningful and fulfilling life. So whether you meditate, whether you pray, whether you do yoga, maybe you like to sing and dance, however you like to find that still point where you're in the zone, when you're in the flow. Maybe you play a musical instrument, maybe you draw, paint, some artistic pursuit. Maybe you just ride your bike down the street, or maybe you go for a nice walk in the morning. Whatever it is, there are many ways to listen for your inner voice. And everyone, I think, comes to it in their own way. But if you can make a bit of a lifestyle shift to try and value it, try and listen for your own inner voice. You're going to tap into an infinite amount of your own wisdom. Where that wisdom comes from, I'm not too sure, but it's coming from inside you. It's probably coming from the consciousness that we are all part of. And I can't really explain that. Nobody can really explain that except maybe poets and, songwriters. They're able to, really nail the metaphor for consciousness. So that's my little story for today. Find your inner voice and try to listen for it. And I hope that everybody's having a great day. I wish you all the very best for this week. Listen for your inner voice.